when I was doing my 8-day Ignatian retreat in Combermere, the Lord just put into my heart that the setting of my retreat is going to be with the Holy Family in Nazareth. And so, and that I started on a Thursday, and I just finished a parish mission in one of the parishes there in Richmond, Ontario, from Monday to Wednesday. So I went to the retreat. I was like tired, like really tired, right? Of course, traveling there also. And so in that retreat, I was just like imagining myself like telling Jesus, Mary, and Joseph the fruit of the parish mission. You know, wherein people were really being touched, people were being healed because we did like a healing service there. And just imagining how they were so happy to hear the fruit of the mission. But now it's time for me to rest. So they just gave me time to rest. You know, I was like really sleeping a lot, like napping. And my retreat, I just sensed that the three of them will be teaching me three different things in my spiritual life. Jesus would be teaching me on how to grow in intimacy with Him. But He said He wants me to really be faithful in my time of prayer and also in my time of fasting. So those two would go hand in hand so that I would grow in intimacy with Him. Joseph, he would be the one to teach me about the rule of life. You know, the structure of my day, wherein I would have time to pray in the morning, exercise, do spiritual reading, right? Do work, do ministry. It's going to be balanced, you know, and it's all centered in being in the presence of God. So that's what St. Joseph taught me. Now, I was curious, like, what Mary would teach me. And then one day, the scripture reading was about the Annunciation. I sensed that Mary was going to teach me how to obey the will of God, right? Just like in the Annunciation, she was surprised of the greeting of the angel. She didn't understand how God will make it happen that she would be the mother of God. And yet, she said, "Here am I, the servant of the Lord. Let it be done to me according to your word." And the obedience of Mary is the model for all of us, right? And as a mother of her spiritual children, she wants us to learn that from her, how to obey. Why? Because that's the most pleasing to the Lord. More than our praying, more than our fasting, more than our almsgiving to the poor. No, it's about obedience. Now, praying, fasting, almsgiving are very important. That's why it's the 3 pillars of the Lent. But all three should lead us into obeying God's will. And during the retreat also, the Lord kind of put into my heart to really learn the Ignatian way of doing the conscious examen. And there's a book called The Examen Prayer by Father Timothy Gallagher. So I was like reading that. And in that book, it talks about having 2 pauses during the day. One during midday and one before you go before going to bed. And you set aside like 10 to 15 minutes during those pauses and look back and see where God was leading you. And if there's anything in you that was like resisting that leading. Of course, if you follow that leading, you give thanks to the Lord, right? That's why in that examen prayer, the first one is gratitude. Just being grateful for what the Lord is really doing. And also giving you the grace really to follow His will. Now, when you observe that you're resisting the will of God, then of course we have to ask for forgiveness, right? And ask for the grace to strive, to make our hearts geared towards doing the will of God.